Hello. It is great to see you all and many others who are joining from YouTube and Facebook. This is so exciting that we are having like a live for everyone live with Meredith. I am excited to get to share with you guys everything that happened on this Sunday's Super Bowl. Are you guys excited to get to look at everything? Yes? Awesome. Well, I am excited to just jump on here and get to teach you all and get to answer your questions as well. It's just a fun, different night. And this is, it's a big one, the Super Bowl. And so might as well just like have as many people that want to learn come on and learn with us tonight, okay? So we are going to be doing actually some Kahoots tonight. For those of you who know Kahoots, I can see that you're excited. For those who have no idea what I am talking about, Kahoot is just a website that we use that all of us can answer questions together. And I've made some questions that we're going to have pop up here, just getting to know everybody. But at the same time, later on, after I'm done teaching, I have questions to ask you all to see how much you remembered, how much you learned from the lesson today, which I know it's a little bit different with live with Meredith, but it's a special one. So might as well make it just a little bit more special. All right. So we have the Kahoot loaded and ready. Yes. Awesome. So for those of you who don't know what to do, you're going to type in on a computer or a phone or a tablet, and you're going to type in Kahoot.it. All right. And then in Kahoot.it, once you go there, you're going to type in the number 360-6506, and you're going to type in your first name and maybe last initial. All right. So you're going to go to www.kahoot.it, and then the number is 360-6506. All right. So we have tons of people joined here on Zoom. What does it look like here, Brian? What are we at with our YouTube and Facebook stream? God, it looks like a lot. I can't even see that. 100 something. 100 something. Awesome. That is exciting, you guys. 111 people that are joining in that saw the link or the live and just said, hey, I want to join in. So we're going to give a second because that is a lot of people. All right. And just a little bit to tell you guys who are joining in and have no idea what Live with Meredith is. Live with Meredith is a part of our accelerated program where students have online classes that they can take and silent chats that they can be a part of. And then every Tuesday night at 8:30 Central Time, we do Live with Meredith, where I teach a lesson and I answer questions. And so that's exactly what we're doing right now, just making it a little bit more special and exciting. So I'm going to give probably about 20 seconds for other people to join on because you might be new to this. Just a reminder, it's www.kahoot.it. All right. And the number is 360-6506. All right. For those of you who've done this with me, are you guys ready to give the 10-second countdown? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Okay, let's get to know some people here. All right, first question, just a little bit of an introduction. Okay, what state or country are you joining from? Where are you from? What's so exciting is having this kind of platform, we get to see people from all over. Awesome. You guys are giving your answers. And yeah, you can put it in the chat as well. Okay, and over here we have people in the chat that are saying Minnesota, Tennessee, North Carolina. Awesome. Yes, and then here we have Colorado, Tennessee, California, Kentucky. We have Delaware, Texas. Awesome. All over. Well, thank you guys for joining. All right. Yes. Emma saying another Philly. Yes. You're like, where are you at? I love that. All right. So our next one is how long have you been learning ASL? All right. So over on our live on Facebook and on YouTube, you guys want to type in there if you were able to join the Kahoot. Let me know. How long have you been learning ASL? We have Brenda, 2 years. All right. Sophia, about a year. Sheila, 3 months. Awesome. A few months. Okay. So here we go. We have people saying 1 year. 1 year was a big answer. All right. A long time for many, many years. 3 years. Not long, but you're trying. Since August. Man, it looks like 44 days. That's very specific, knowing the exact day. That's great. We have over here too, like 12 years. Guys, this is awesome. Okay, so why are you learning? What is the reason? Is it family, friends, the language itself? What is the reason? All right. Oh, it looks like some people are saying it's just my passion. Ooh, I love that. All right. Just love the language. Just wanted to learn to volunteer, interpret. It's a beautiful language to communicate. That's awesome. A deaf son-in-law, to be an interpreter, right? There are so many different reasons. If you see on social media, people who are using sign language in all different ways. And that is really, really, really exciting to just get to see it spread for all needs. Okay, it looks like we have another question. And then, is this your first live with Meredith? So say yes, say no. Over here in the live stream, you might be saying, yeah, this is my first. Okay. So pretty even here. We've got a lot of people who are like, hey, this is my regular Tuesday night thing. I put this in my calendar. I scheduled this out. And then some of you guys are like, no, this is my first time joining on. I am excited to be here. Well, we are excited that you all are here and we want to see if you all are ready to get started. Is it yes? Absolutely. Let's get started. I'm so ready. Oh, awesome. I'm seeing over there in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. That is great. Perfect. I love seeing all the variety. Let's get started. I'm so ready. I'm ready too. All right. So am I good? Am I moving on? Okay, here we go. Sorry. For many of you who don't know, my husband, Brian, and I work together on this whole entire business. And whenever I look over here, I'm looking at my husband, Brian, because he's like all the computer stuff, sitting there pushing buttons. And I just like get to talk a lot. And so I look over him and he just gives me the go ahead. He's like, yeah, okay, you're good. You're good. All right. So I got the go ahead to talk. And boy, am I going to talk a lot. And you're noticing that I'm using signing and talking at the same time. It's called simultaneous communication. It's for some of those of you who might be hard of hearing, deaf, losing your hearing, and it's sign support. I do it all the time, especially whenever we have our deaf teacher, Sarah, come on in. And it's just something that I'm very used to. And so I just do this just for support and communication to make it accessible for all. All right. So like we said before, we are diving deep into kind of the Super Bowl stuff because if we noticed, we didn't get to see a lot of it on TV, right? Yeah. I mean, honestly, like barely anything, right? It's like the wave of the hand, and then we don't get a shot of the deaf performers, right? And it's disappointing, right? It's disappointing that you don't get to see that on TV. I will tell you guys that Marlee Matlin, right after, the all of the pre-game performances were done, went on to Twitter, or X, that's what it's called now, X, right? Went on, and this is what she shared. She said, I'm absolutely shocked at CBS for introducing the deaf performers at today's pre-game Super Bowl and then not showing even 1 second or more of their performance, as has been tradition for the last 30 years. Why? All right. And you can see that gets some people, talking, chatting. And then, so of course, I just can't read that and then just go, okay, I have to start digging. If you know me, I'm starting to research. I start to look for things. And on SWIC Facebook page, they shared that in the past, there have been like side-by-side interpreters or deaf performers next to or in picture in past Super Bowls. There's Marlee Matlin in the 1993 performance with Garth Brooks. All right. So standing right next to, and some could be said, well, now they have CBS separate, streaming where you can see the performance the whole entire time. But there's something to be said about even some screen time, right? Of having like the person standing on the field signing or getting a picture-in-picture right there to be able to be seen. This has been done. They shared 5 times in the past where they've had the interpreter shown the entire time. And so it's just kind of interesting that now they weren't even shown at all. Just a little bit of some history is the performers, ASL performers, have been signing the national anthem since 1992. All right. And Marlee Matlin was in 1993, and she has done it 3 times. All right. And they started halftime performances, ASL performances, back in 2022. So 1992 is when it started for, the pregame, the national anthem. And then it wasn't until 2022 that it happened for halftime shows. So it should be an interesting conversation of what it might look like in the future. Yes, we have, it's streamed out, that special link that you can go and watch it. And that's what we're going to get to watch today. But just something to take note of, that is happening. All right. So What we're going to do first is we are going to look at the national anthem, and we're going to look at Daniel Durant's interpretation of it. If you have seen any performances in the past, you will see that everybody's performance interpretation is different. And it's not just because, like they just want it to be different, right? It's because it's their own take, their own like flair to it, just like a singer would, right? They're going to put their own flair onto the national anthem. Yes, they're following the words the same and then, the melody with it, but they're adding extra flair. This is the same that's being done with the performances, right? And so no two interpreters, performers are really going to sign them the same. Yes, you could copy it and just, take something that's been done before, and that happens. But whenever you're on this national stage, you want it to be your own, right? So we're going to look at Daniel's interpretation of this, and there are some great nuggets that I want to take notice of. So you guys ready? All right, here we go.
Please welcome, on behalf of the National Association of the Deaf, actor Daniel Durant. To honor America and perform our national anthem, entertainment icon Reba McEntire.
Awesome. Okay, here we go. All right, so right there at the beginning, he's making the land, and then you see that sun and shining in. And then looking and then honoring. And I want you to notice he's putting the honoring to the flag that's on the field. This part right here, ramparts. Okay, I'm going to stop that right there. Look at this. You typically see people do this for like ramparts, kind of like this bunkering down. But what he did is he used a flat hand and showed what, a bunker they would be in, right? Dug down, right, into the ground. And then that shape right there showing above it. So he decided to make the shape like this instead of doing his arms just like this, which is interesting because in all honesty, you see the majority of people do it like this. And he chose to make a different visual for this. And he has some great visuals here in just a second for the bombs. So let's look at that. All right, there's that war back and forth. Okay, look at that. Those bombs. Okay, we're going to stop right there. Okay, did we see that it wasn't just like the rocket going? What did they do? Like, what did the rocket have to? Yes, it's like the loading, right? He added that extra and then shooting off into the air. And then I love that he did those bombs bursting, but then he showed. Did you see how his hands were like kind of like this extra movement of what the feel of a bomb going off? Yes, that's exactly. He was using those hand shapes right there to make it look like a bomb. Those are what we call classifiers, all right? We're using our hands to look like something, right? To describe something and show the movement of something, all right? Many of you guys have heard the word classifiers before, but that's what a classifier is. It's the hand shape of that. Okay. Ooh, the dust settling, looking through. Hey, the flag's still there. stars and stripes, right? Showing the flag again. Oh, okay. All right. Pause again. Okay. So, you know how we had this flag like this at the beginning? But as this song's getting bigger, what's happening with our signs? Our signs are getting bigger. He just didn't do this. He went making the flag bigger. So we have the flag at the beginning, but the song's getting bigger. Reba's like getting into it, right? And so he's going to get into it too. He's going to mimic this, crescendo within the music. All right, here we go. And there it goes, keeps on waving. Then we have that sign land. We're saved free. Ooh, and then all of these people, right? We together brave. And look, and she repeats it, so he's gonna repeat it. Look at the emotion, right? And look how he goes back and applauds her. Pretty sweet, right? There are so many things within his that, it just made it more visual, right? And if you saw last week's YouTube video where we, dissect past performances and then my interpretation of, of signing it, right? What I showed you guys is like an interpretation versus what Daniel did was a performance, right? Adding all of these visuals of what the song is, right? Okay. What are we going on to next? I have a note to myself. Do we need to have people sign in for anything?
For a giveaway?
Uh-huh. As I unpack this? Yes, that's my note to myself, right?
Yep. 10 people have signed up so far.
Okay, so just to let you know, we have a giveaway. 1, 2. We have 2 giveaways. We have 2 giveaways tonight, but we need people to sign on in. All right. So you have a link that you can sign on in for tonight's giveaway. So make sure to get that information in.
Learnhowtosign.com/giveaway.
Learnhowtosign.com/giveaway. That is what it is. Yep. There you go. Those are the words that I need to say. All right. It is learnhowtosign.com/giveaway. So go there, type it in. So that way you might be the lucky winner of what we're giving away tonight. And this is what I'm going to hint to you first. The first thing might be some merch. What? Anybody guess what it is? I don't know. I don't know what it is. All right. So sign in because you might be the winner, right? You came here, had nothing, and then you could leave with something like free, right? That would be extra cool. And a free lesson. That's even better. Okay. So what we are going to do now is we are going to unpack Usher's performance. And this is what I said on Instagram and Facebook on stories is I took the performance and I picked out some parts that I could keep PG. All right. So there you go. Just keeping we're just focusing on these certain areas. Okay. So just to let you guys know, it's PG is what we're trying to keep it at. All right. So we got to start off with the beginning. That's where we got to start off. Are you guys ready to look at his performance? Yes. Let me know in the chat if you got to watch his performance on Sunday, live, if you went to that CBS stream and got to watch it. Just let me know in the comments if you have or not. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's look. All right, here we go. I'm taking control. He's claiming it. Look at the moves. Okay, already, do we see how his performance is giving us Usher moves? Yes. Okay. Right here. Let's pause right there. So he said, until I met this girl who turned the tables around. If we looked at that line, until I met this girl who turned these tables around, we would go tables around, tables, right? That's what our English thought would go to, right? But what really happened is like this girl, my world, my thoughts, my everything is like flipped, right? Confused, messed up, right? Because he's met this girl. So when you're looking at ASL, right, taking something that's English and music, and especially in music, there's so many like meanings behind it where they're just like adding, because it's really like poetry, right? Taking that idea and going, what is the meaning? Until I met this girl who turned the tables around. Tables around means it like messed things up. It changed things around. His world switched, right? So that right there, you have to remember what is where's the meaning for each part of this, okay? So here we go. Let's continue on. Ooh. Breaking down. Oh, pause right there. Pause right there. That was so good. Thought that I'd be the one breaking down. All right. So we have like the sign breakdown, but he did what was called like body anchoring. And he put it to himself because it's him breaking down, right? It is not, right? A breakdown. And then with it, do we notice how his demeanor goes? It goes with it. There's so much to be said about, yes, his like moves and everything. And I'm seeing some of you guys talking about like, oh no, he has like Usher type moves, right? He's not only a deaf performer, he is a choreographer and dancer. And so like he understands music and enjoys music, even being a deaf person. Yes, deaf people, hard of hearing people love music still, all right? It's just like you and I. Some of us, might not like it very much, or some of it might like love it, right? But he figures out ways to produce the music, right, through his body, like what's natural to him, right? And so he's got these moves that he's doing with signs as well. All right? Okay, one more time. Caught up. Caught up, like dwelling, obsessing. Oh, I love it. Ooh, do we see this girl's got a hold on me? Ooh, that's good. Okay, so like this twisted, right? His like emotions are like, right? Like I don't know. But do we see how he chose signs that allowed him to do the movement with it? I apologize for my own dancing skills. I enjoy dancing in, my living room, But here, like for everybody that you're probably going to laugh at me, but he has like so many things that control, right? He's doing the sign control, twisted, the girl's got a hold on me. He's putting this purpose into each of his signs to force dancing along with it. All right. Are we ready for the next section? Here we go. We got to get some Alicia Keys, right? And look at that. Oh, that's so cute.
Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all.
Okay, we got to stop already. Got to stop already there. Did we see how she just went that, right? We hear, but I don't. And what does she do with her body and her signs? She goes boop, along with it to give it that staccato, right? Of matching with the music. Guys, that is hard, right? Because you're still trying to get the signs going in, but then adding that into it, it's just like so beautifully done and shows how important the practice is beforehand. It's not that they went, let me just like go through like some of the songs and go, oh, okay, yeah, I know. It is practice. How am I going to sign this? But then how am I going to match it with the music as well? All right, here we go. Baby, she's doing like that sweet, right? I love her interpretation of if I don't have you. So do we see how they played with each other right there in that performance? Yes, he brought her in just like, Alicia Keys being pulled in to this performance, right? It's just like, and here you go, ma'am. It's your turn to shine. And he was just over there, just like adding a little bit of his own flair, but giving her the spotlight and then her playing with how the song is going, right? And she was following it pretty much to the T of like what the words were. That not if I ain't got you, right? She's like, I don't have you, and then points back to pull him in to the next part of the song, where they're doing more of like a duet style. So her interpretation pretty much matched what Alicia Keys was singing, but sometimes you see it where it's completely changed into a different ASL structure, right? It's just the preference of the person who is performing it in this situation, or the preference of the deaf person if it was like maybe at a concert and the interpreter wanted to match what the needs were from the deaf person. Okay, so let's look at this next section. I love how this starts. All right, so stop already. First off, where was Usher at 7 o'clock? Did you guys catch her finger spelling? She spelled Usher so fast, right? So incredibly fast at 7 o'clock, right? So where was Usher at 7 o'clock? If you looked at that, did she sign it in what is ASL structure? Usher, 7 o'clock, where, right? She did it completely like following the English structure, matching, right? Then from there, he was in his drop top. What does he do? he is using a classifier, right, of going boop, boop, and matching it with the music, right? He was in that convertible, his drop top, right? And it coming back. So just some like fun little nuances like that they're just like trying to match the music to feel it, because like Usher has like a groove with him and like the feeling of the music. And so they're wanting to match that. Okay, here we go. Keep on going. This repeats itself over and over, but notice how his fingers, right, the burn, it's coming to him. It's moving up. Do we see that like side to side, him debating between himself? Even with ooh, ooh, oohs, he's going, oh, oh, oh. His movements are moving with Usher. All of this, yes, it's a repetition, right? With the burn, but he adds the flair to it, right? And then he's adding this like conflict, over here, but at the same time, moving, burning, right? And then, good. Yes, the ooh, ooh, ooh part, right? This is just like, oh, wow, 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 wow. But he doesn't just go, ooh, 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 right? He's like moving to it as well. All right. Okay, this last part, they are pulling in this whole entire crew. I don't know if you guys know who Daniel Durant is, all right? Daniel Durant from the movie Coda. It was the Academy Award-winning movie back in 2021. Yes. 2021. And he is deaf, right? Performed in that movie, amazing actor. And then he went on to Dancing with the Stars. And he was on that show, and his dance partner and him fell in love. And they just got engaged this past month. Maybe it was in December. And anyways, so he's been learning, how to dance with his dance partner. It's just the sweetest. Her name is Britt, and she's, learning sign. So it's awesome. Anyway, so he, interpreted the performance of the national anthem at the beginning, but being pulled into this performance with the other two performers, the other two deaf performers. And then him getting pulled in to like dance along with them, because he introduces the beginning and then the very end of this show. So let's get to watch them have fun. Do you see the muscle? Okay, so pause just a second. So do the muscle. Like you and I would go, do the muscle. What is do the muscle, right? And then it's, hey, clap, right? It's like, what are they doing? They're like, because it's just fun, right? I'm showing off my muscles. Do the muscle. Like, here we go. I'm showing off my muscle, right? And then they're not just like, clap. Let's clap, everybody. Everybody, let's clap with me. No, they're like, right? They're like, clap. clap. I don't even know how they're actually clapping, like what the kind of move is that they're doing. This is to take off. Let's see what they're doing. I love the pause on it. Oh, and then they're moving. And how fun is that? Everybody's interjecting with their yeah.
I turned the world to the A, baby. I turned the world to the A. I turned the world to the A, baby.
And then he's going back, yes, yes, yes.
The National Football League and Apple Music.
Love this. And then Daniel, he's like, okay, I have to sign this now. Please excuse me. Thank you for tuning in, right? And then you can find this on Apple Music and you can get free months 3 months free. All right. So thank you for watching, you all. Love you. So just the excitement, right? They just keep on jumping and jumping and jumping. But it's not just like, do the muscle. Yeah. It is getting into it. And that's what I think is so fun because they are performers too, right? This is not just interpreting for Usher. They are performing ASL with Usher. All right. So all that to be said, I want you guys to be able to go back and unpack all of this and get some, pick some ideas and go, ooh, that's what Meredith was talking about there. Oh, we didn't get to touch on that, but that's a classifier that now I know what it is, that sort of thing, okay? So we have now more than 10 people signed in, a lot of people. So let's give away a Learn How to Sign sweatshirt, guys, right? We wanted it to be like kind of college style. That's kind of vibe we were going for here. So let's see who the winner is. Drum roll. Monica, how exciting. That is great. We will be contacting you to get it sent your way. So you can get yourself a Learn How to Sign sweatshirt. Thank you for joining, Monica. We're so happy you're here. Let's see what we learned, you guys. Are you guys ready? Okay, so we're going to go back to Kahoot. And it's www.kahoot.it. And it's 792-2532. Awesome. I'm looking over here on the live. You guys are awesome. You have got a lot of excitement. Oh, yeah. Like interpretive kind of like dancing even. I love that. Awesome. I'm loving like reading all of this stuff that you guys are chatting about. All right. We're gonna, let you guys keep on jumping on. The number is 792-2532. Okay, so as you guys are jumping on, I will tell you after I finish questions, we have one more giveaway. And this giveaway is pretty big. All right. Any guesses on what could be like a big giveaway? Something, I'm even seeing Emma's like, is it like a course or something? We have a lifetime membership to give away. What? Like, I see these faces going, what? A lifetime membership of Accelerated. So stay to the end and your name might get drawn. All right. And if you are somebody who has a lifetime membership already, then you can be able to like gift it to somebody. What? Wouldn't that be like the coolest gift ever to give? Okay. So, here we go. We are going to answer some questions. So let's get started. All right, let's check your understanding. What did you learn? Okay, true or false? The national anthem is signed the same way by every interpreter and performer. They all sign it. It looks like you get, it looks like you guys are getting it. You're putting it even in the chat. Is this true or false? It is false, right? You will see so many different people sign it so many different ways, right? We saw Wawa's performance, right, in last week's YouTube video, and Troy Kotzer's performance, right? And then tonight we saw Daniel Durant's performance. Everybody's performance is going to have a variety to it. The way I interpret it versus how I perform it is going to be different, right? Okay, great job. Question number 2. What year did the Super Bowl include its first ASL performer? Is it 2022, 1993, 1992, or 2002? Okay, so we talked about this at the beginning of the class. What year was it? Yes, 1992. What year did Marlee Matlin perform? 1993. Yes, Marlee Matlin performed in 1993. All right, the first performance was in 1992, and the Marlee Matlin has performed 3 times. Okay, number 3. How do deaf performers or interpreters show that the song or vocals are getting louder? Do the signs get bigger? They sign the sign loud? They sign faster? Or the signs get smaller? Which one? Yes, those signs get bigger. Remember at the beginning when we were talking about Daniel's flag, right? He was signing the flag. And then as Reba was getting into it, right, he was like really having that flag wave, right? It grew from here to here. Great. And there's even more like emotion along with it too, right? It gets bigger, but there's more force with it as well. Okay, number 4. Those who are deaf and hard of hearing don't enjoy music. True or false? Awesome. You guys are really jumping in here in the live on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. You guys are giving all the answers. I love it. Yes, false, right? It's not saying that, that like, oh, can't hear, so you must not like music. That is false, right? There's parts of feeling it, right? And then think of people who maybe are deaf later in life. Like they still have like experiences from before. There are so many different things. Okay, how are we doing, you guys? Awesome. Love this. Having a blast, learning something new. If you're not on and you just want to type in the chat and say how you're doing, I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Love this. Having a blast, learning something new. Oh, I'm seeing over here on YouTube and on Facebook. Love this. New to this. Love this. Yes, guys, it makes me happy to see that you're gaining some piece of information through all this. So let's see who the winner is. All right. For 3rd place, we have Fatima. Way to go, Fatima. Karen in 2nd place. And then in 1st place, we have Tony. Way to go, Tony. Awesome. It looks like you have a little helper there too. Did you? Yes. Okay. Love it. Okay. So we have some questions to answer. And as I'm answering these questions, I and you have any, we might be able to grab a few over in the chat and be able to answer those. I started pulling questions from our finished 101 and 301 course from last week. So if some of those weren't answered last week when we finished up that course, we're going to try to answer them now. So if we don't get to your question that you guys sent in on Discord, we will be answering those next week. Okay, so here we go. All right, question. Is it inappropriate to create signs for yourself if you don't, sorry, it's cutting off a little bit. If you don't find, if you don't find sorry guys, the question just faded away and I cannot see it anymore. Okay, I'll look right here. If you don't find a sign for the words you are trying to use. I've heard this, and I'm not trying to make a faux pas. Okay, so is it inappropriate to create a sign for yourself if you don't find a sign? Yes, it is inappropriate. You should not be making up signs. That is something that if you don't know the sign for something, you can point, gesture, something like that, or you then finger spell it, right? You can finger spell it and say like, this is the word. And then the person will sign that sign back to you, give you the sign, or just tell you it's finger spelled or something like that. Never, never, never make up a sign. It is a no. It is a no-go. So act, point, finger spell it out, and then you should be able to receive the sign back. All right, next question. This is my biggest question. How much can I rely on my interpretation of the lyrics? Okay, so how much can I rely on my interpretation of the lyrics? So this is what I will say. If you're taking a song for the very first time and you're unpacking it, trying to figure out what am I supposed to sign here? What am I supposed to do, right? What I would say is pick a song that you have seen performed before by a deaf performer or an ASL interpreter or something, and take those lyrics and try it yourself first, and then look back and reference to it to see what your understanding is, if it matches along with that. And don't pick something that is so incredibly deep and you're having to really, 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 really dig into the meaning. Give yourself something that's maybe of a story-driven song, right? Building those skills of taking something that you think what it means can be a challenge. So give yourself something that's already out there as you build your skills up. And then so that gives you a good gut check of going, okay, I'm on the right path, and you're able to follow along with it, right? All right. Next question. How do you sign football? Football. So think of the linemen, right? You got defense, offensive line, and what do? They're that they do that every time, right? They're just hey, right? Football. And some say that it's the laces of the football as well. So clashing into each other, or the laces of the football. Football. All right, next question. Will you be doing another music intensive? Okay, we don't have it on the calendar yet. We do have other ideas for mini intensives coming up this year, and as they come out, we will let you know. That first music one was a good one. It was a lot of fun, and we will let you know whenever we do it again. How many signs does ASL have? All right, Brazilian Sign Language. It has different signs. So signs in ASL, I'm assuming like the signs themselves, I mean, thousands of signs. Within ASL, and it said Brazilian Sign Language had like many different ones. If you're meaning in terms of like variations of the language itself, ASL is the only one that's considered a language in America, but there are like things that are within the sign language systems. But ASL is the only one that's a sign language. There are other things that kind of branch off that's called like C-sign, signing exact English. And then we have like things that's called PSE, pigeon signed English or contact. So there's like variations, but those aren't languages themselves. So ASL is the only one that is a signed language. But in signs themselves in ASL, I mean, thousands upon thousands of signs. You can't really compare it to the English language because they're separate languages. And so you can't give it like a comparison game of like, well, English language has this many. Why does ASL have like lesser than? It's because we have like things like classifiers and stuff like that really aren't considered signs, but they're descriptors. So thousands. I have books, databases online and websites. You could go on and on and on, but I don't know an exact number. All right. Can you be an interpreter in the education setting with a 2-year community college degree? So within interpreting, to be a nationally certified interpreter, you have to have a bachelor's degree. But if that is not something that you would be sitting for quite yet, say that you would be taking a state certification test, say that you live in Oklahoma, they have state certified test, and then they have an educational, it's called EIPA. It's a national educational interpreter certification. And with that, you're not required to have a bachelor's degree within the EIPA. Currently, I could see that it could be something that they would add on, personally. But with having an associate's degree, a 2-year degree, you have to make sure that you have the skill set to be an interpreter, to take the test, to pass the test, to be an educational interpreter. So what I would suggest is a 2-year degree in an interpreting program. They have a lot of those at community colleges and stuff like that, where you take those classes. That's what I did first, was a 2-year degree. I finished that up, and I was just going to get a bachelor's degree in speech pathology just to get a bachelor's degree. But then a program opened up for a bachelor's degree. And so I finished that. And then later on in life, I did my master's in deaf education. So I was an active interpreter within the school system starting after I had finished my 2-year degree along with my certification. But you have to be a certified interpreter to work in any form of interpreting. All right, next question. When are you doing the summer classes? All right, we are doing 101 in June. So that is going to be starting this June. I want to say we have it the first, second, and third week of June. That sounds right to me. Yes. First, second, and third week of June. So I would love to see you there. All right. What's your favorite part about signing? Okay, so I've shared this before. Whenever I was little, I thought, I was like, I'm going to be an actress. And as you can see, I have a little bit of personality. I do realize that about myself. And so I was going to be an actress. And then at some time in my elementary years, I thought, that's probably not a steady job. So I should probably pick something different. Like, it was a very responsible decision. Nobody was like swaying me anyway, because I was like probably in 4th or 5th grade. And so then I decided that I wanted to be a newscaster. And then I realized later on, I was like, you have to ask people hard questions, and I don't want to like press people and make them feel awkward. So I'm not going to do that. And then so I decided that I wanted to be a meteorologist so I could tell people what to wear the next day. And like, guys, this was the line. And then with that, I realized that through my mom going through the interpreting program and just like seeing like what she was able to do and like the relationships that she had, but also like what she got to do each day is she got to like be a different person each day. She got to act each day. And I was like, oh, no, that sounds cool. So it's how expressive the language is, and me as an expressive person, it allows me to produce that in just like a really special way. And I love like serving other people. And so like with that, it was a lot of like servantship within like interpreting and things like that. So it was just kind of like a mix of everything, but it's an expressive language, and I'm a very expressive person. All right, next question. Okay, hi, I'm an interior designer learning ASL because I want to bring more deaf people to my field. Any advice? I would say socializing. All right, so you're learning their language, right? You're learning ASL, and then go and use it with them. Socialize, right? Go to these coffees, go to these chats, and meet and socialize, right? That is a way to develop those relationships and build your skills as well. All right, how are we doing? Okay, perfect. Is ASL offered at all colleges? Not all colleges, no. It's a search for them. Most states offer it, but you have to look for what the program is. Some of them might offer only 1 or 2 classes because of maybe they have a degree that requires that, and they're going to have like, Spanish, French, and then ASL or whatever. And, they're required to take that, but there might be like programs that schools offer as well. So I would look in the area that you're in. There's also online programs as well that you could look for. All right, next question. May I ask what you do when you get your bachelor's degree? Oh, what you got your bachelor's degree in after you got your associate's? So my bachelor's degree is in interpreting, ASL to English interpretation. And then I have my minor in educational interpreting and then in speech pathology. So I have 2 minors. That was on accident. I thought I was getting a speech pathology degree, and then I had all of these classes, and then I was like, oh, finally an ASL like interpreting program opened up. And so I went to that. And so I had all these degrees, and I was like, what can I, or all these classes. I was like, what can I do with them? And they're like, we can turn that into a minor. And I was like, perfect. So ASL to English interpretation is what my bachelor's degree is in. And yes, our dog is back there if anybody wants to know. He's taking a nap, as always. All right, next question. What is the sign for ASL? Only one in, Brazilian Sign Language has many signs for the language. Okay, so the sign for ASL is just ASL, ASL, ASL. So just abbreviating it right here. ASL, yep. All right, next question. What is the sign for Canada as well as the sign for provinces? Okay, so this is the sign Canada right here. All right. Those who are in Canada say, do not grab your shirt. All right. That is not how they sign it in Canada. So that is that sign. Provinces, I do need to look up to be able to share that. So remind me so I can share that with you. It's not something that I sign every day. All right. Interested in how to do church interpreting? Please share. All right. So church interpreting, it's a lot. This is what I would say if you are starting out learning, if you are learning how to sign, get it? Learn how to sign. Okay. If you're just starting out learning how to sign, I would say make sure that if you are at a church, right, that there is an interpreter at that church that can be there to guide you, right? That they are there to work alongside you, to guide you, to help out. And what I would say, if there are songs that are used quite often within your church or creeds, right? Or, specifics that you hear very often within your church. What I would say is practice those things that are constants to build your skills, to practice like getting used to the pace of a preacher. I don't know if you guys know this, but preachers can speak very, very, very fast, especially whenever they're reading scripture, right? They don't realize how fast that they're reading, and keeping up, that's really, really hard. If your skills are built to where you're like, okay, I've got this, then typically what's done is you tell the pastor like, hey, I'm going to be, signing, interpreting a small portion of your sermon this next week. And sometimes you can get their notes and then be able to read through them to be prepared of like what kind of points, scripture, like things to be prepared for ahead of time. Interpreting church is very difficult, but I personally enjoy doing it myself. All right, next question. Is the same English word, if the same English word has multiple meanings, is the sign also the same? For example, I know the sign for the color orange and orange have the same sign. Is that the typical case? So no, you're not going to see that, like the multiple meaning words. ASL actually, like theirs are very diverse compared to our English. It's all about the meaning. It just so happens the orange. And then in that situation, like eating, you can't eat a color, so you know that it would be the orange itself. So that's what I would say there. Is there's actually an ASL, it's all about the meaning, not about the sound of the word, like, in English. All right. Next question. If you don't know the sign for a random word in a conversation, is there a specific way you signal that you'll have to spell it? It seems like maybe pointing to your wrist. Okay, so like if there's a word that you're like, ooh, I don't know the sign, go. And I see myself doing that a lot. It's like, let's look at this. That is not to say that every single person does that. It's a tendency that I do, but I typically like go looking at it, going, the sign, ooh, saying, I'm trying to figure this out. Sometimes I point, sometimes I reference, like look at it. But the biggest thing in there is those non-manual markers going, I don't know. Sign, and it's the breakaway from the eyes going like I'm thinking, but then looking back at the person to receive what that sign is, right? The non-manuals, right? Handshake, palm orientation, location, movement, non-manuals, showing that with your body language. All right, next one. How do you ask maternal or paternal grandmother, grandfather? So this is going to be like something like my mother, her mom. This. It's you put it right, hers. My mom. It's like a padding thing. mine, theirs, mine kind of thing. All right. Here we go. If someone is signing the days of the week, is there a trick to identify the difference between Monday and Saturday since the signs are so similar? Can you see the thumb? Can you not see the thumb? Right? Thumb, do you see how it's just poking out right there? You might also see where it's like flat a little bit versus fist. And I know that's so hard. You're like, but why don't they just do it forward? Because they don't. That's the answer. So it's the thumb right there. All right.
Last one.
All right, last one. Is the sign for Independence Day just July 4th? So you'll see Independence Day. Yep, Independence Day. You could do July 4th, fourth twist, but we just know it is Independence Day, right? Okay, remember how I told you we're going to have a giveaway and stay to the very end, and you guys stayed to the very end? We are going to give away a lifetime membership of Accelerated. Guys, if you don't know what it is, just look on learnhowtosign.com. It tells you all about it. There's like this live with Meredith that we do here, those on-demand classes, silent chats. It's a whole thing. Go and check it out. Let's see who the winner is. Drum roll. This is my drum roll. Okay. Katie! Giving all the hand waves. Katie, this is so exciting. You find somebody to gift it to because Katie is in it. She loves being a part of all things Learn How to Sign and Accelerated, and we love Katie. Guys, this was a joy to get to do. We hope that we can do this again in the future of pulling in so many different people who are just loving learning sign language. And thank you for sticking with us even extra time than we normally do, right? So I will see you all next Tuesday or on YouTube or on Instagram or Facebook or any of those things. Okay, bye.